everyone, welcome back to Art Therapy with MindSoulMeditations. Before we get started, let's take a moment to take a deep breath and let it out slowly. And another one. Let's talk about inner strength. Inner strength is the resilience, fortitude, and determination that comes from within ourselves. It is the ability to persevere through challenges, overcome obstacles, and maintain a positive outlook even in the face of adversity. Inner strength is a crucial quality that can improve our quality of life in several ways. Inner strength provides us with the mental and emotional fortitude to navigate through life's difficulties without being overwhelmed or discouraged. It enables us to cope with stress, anxiety, and setbacks more effectively, allowing us to maintain a sense of calm and clarity even in turbulent times. By cultivating inner strength, we can develop a greater sense of self-belief, self-confidence, and self-reliance, which can empower us to take calculated risks, pursue our goals, and enjoy life on our own terms. Developing inner strength is a journey that requires conscious effort and practice. One way to build inner strength is through self-reflection and mindfulness practices, such as meditation, creating art or music, or engaging in activities that promote self-awareness and personal growth. Surrounding ourselves with a supportive network of family and friends, engaging in physical exercise, and practicing positive self-talk can also contribute to developing inner strength. Art therapy can play a significant role in developing inner strength. The creative process of art making can serve as a powerful tool for self-expression, emotional release, and personal exploration. By engaging in art therapy, individuals have the opportunity to externalize their thoughts, feelings, and experiences in a safe and non-judgmental environment. This process can help individuals gain insights into their inner selves, develop a greater sense of self-awareness, and cultivate inner strength by acknowledging and embracing their emotions, challenges, and personal growth. When it comes to depicting inner strength in a painting, various themes and visual representations can be used. A mighty oak tree, symbolizing resilience, endurance, and the ability to withstand storms and challenges. A burning flame or candle, representing the inner fire, passion, and determination that fuels inner strength. A mountain climber, depicting the journey of overcoming obstacles and reaching new heights through perseverance and inner strength. A butterfly emerging from a cocoon, symbolizing the ability to rise from adversity and be reborn with renewed strength and resilience. A warrior or athlete in a powerful stance, representing the physical and mental fortitude, discipline, and inner strength required to overcome challenges and achieve greatness. These visual representations can serve as powerful metaphors for inner strength, inspiring viewers to cultivate their own resilience and determination in the face of life's challenges. Let's create some inner strength art. So the prompt for today is one that I actually used for my 30 Days of Chronic Pain collection. I've made a few modifications for today's purposes. I'm going to change the aspect ratio to 4:5. So we're going to do a surrealistic rendering of a woman with great inner strength. And we'll see what we get. We'll see if there's anything else we want to change here. I think we'll leave it as is. And let's see what our results are. Now, in the previous episode, we talked about how to use style references, and I provided some numerical codes, and I'll do that again today. But one of the things I'd like to do today is actually show a different way that you can use a style reference by using an image that you already like. Now, this might be an image that you found online, a piece of artwork that you've already created, and we'll see how we can do that to influence the output of our artwork. Let's take a look at these initial ones. So some really interesting images, definitely surreal. The top one here makes me think a little bit about third eye. Nothing about the top right one really speaks to me. Again, we have one here that speaks a little bit to third eye. This one's kind of neat with the butterfly wings coming out of her head. So I didn't include any symbolism on this particular prompt. It might be a good time to add a little bit of extra symbolism or define the symbolism that we want. So I'm going to go with an oak tree for the symbolism of inner strength. So I'm just going to add here, I'm going to define ultra bizarre mixed media collage with symbolism of an oak tree. And we'll give that another try, and I might try it in different aspect ratios. So we'll start off by trying it just in the vertical. And I think I'm just going to copy it. And paste it back in. And I'm going to change the aspect ratio here to landscape. And we'll see what we get with that. Let's take a closer look. So the first one I'm really liking because it has the oak tree sort of coming from her head, like she's channeling the strength of the oak tree. I do like the second one as well. So we've got the oak trees coming out, but what I like about this one is the roots that are extending down into her head. So she's rooted within her mind. She's rooting her inner strength. Let's see what the landscape ones produced. So it looks like we got some very similar results. This one's actually really cool because we've got a whole celestial component taking place. I might be inclined to want to fix the branches that are covering her face, but otherwise it's a pretty intriguing image. This one here is quite stunning. We have more of sort of a landscape, a very surreal, dreamy look to it. We still have that oak tree up in her face. So let's try some of these with a style reference. So what I'd like to do is, let's say we like the style on the image in the bottom right, and we want to create more in that style. One of the things I can do is I'm going to try and run variations on it. See if I can get some more that look like that. While I'm doing that, I think I'm going to run a couple of random style references just to see what else we get that pops up in case something else jumps out at me. So I'm going to come down to the bottom, and I'm just doing this the same way we looked at in the last episode. I'm just going to do --sref for the style reference, and I'm going to type the word random. Now, while I do have some that we'll look at later, I just want to see what I can get. And I'm going to do one more in random. So here we have some other variations using the same style as the last one. Let's take a closer look at those. It's quite nice. I'm not sure that I'm a big fan of this coming on her face. I actually prefer the wispiness that's covering the face in the bottom one here. Let's see, going to the side. These pieces almost make me feel like they're lightning, and maybe I would want to actually intentionally prompt and tell it to add lightning. See, this one here, I don't mind so much the leaves and branches coming over her face because it seems to flow a little bit better. But I do like the idea of maybe adding some lightning. It might add to the sort of overall power of the image. So I think what I'll do, they're all kind of good. Not sure which one's my favorite. Maybe I'll just rerun the whole thing and I'll add woman with great inner strength, ultra bizarre mixed media collage with symbolism of an oak tree and the lightning. Let's see what else we have in here. This Well, instead of a dark vortex, I'm going to change presence of lightning, and I'm going to change the lightning at the top. Take that out. So we'll leave the oak tree, but instead of a dark vortex, I'm going to invoke lightning for a sense of mysticism and power. Let's try that. And while that's running, let's take a look and see what else we got. So here we have a few random with the style reference. I think I would probably want to make some changes and change some of the prompt if I want to use that style. Oh, this one's really neat. I really like the neons and the bright colors and the contrast, so that's actually pretty cool. I might try this one here as well and rerun this one, and we'll do, actually, I'm just going to copy the style reference. And this one here already has the changes with the lightning, so I'm going to rerun that one and add the style reference. Let's take a look at these ones. Yeah, I like this quite a bit. We still have a little bit of vortex that came in even though we removed it, but that's because the vortex was in a previous version of the image and I didn't run it fresh. I just amended it, so it did carry some tiny piece of a previous version into the new one, which I was okay with. So let's go across and look at the one in the top right. This one's quite stunning too. It's even got some red lightning up in the top here. And going down in the bottom right. I'm not sure I like this one as much, although it's still a really powerful image. And this one's quite stunning too, but it's also finding it a little bit chaotic. I think I like the composition best on some of these. Now the only thing with this one is her head is rather high in the frame. So I would probably take this top left image, and if this is the one that I chose, I would make this image square, or I would zoom out so that I can get the rest of her head at the top. So the one that seems to be most perfect in its composition is this one here. I'm going to upscale the one in the top right, and I'm going to use that, I think, as my base image. And I think I might grab one of these here and try to rerun this with the other one as an image reference. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm upscaling the one in the top right. So we'll get that, and I'll probably upscale it further just so we have the best quality. And now I'm going to choose one of these, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to bind them together by using one image as an image reference for the other. Looking at this one, I think the top left is probably going to blend the best due to its composition. I can actually just copy the link now. So to copy the link on this image, what I can do is I can right click it and do copy link. And the reason I'm doing that is when I'm going to do an image reference, I need the link to this image or the image itself to be downloaded, and then I re-upload it. But because I made it here in Midjourney, I don't actually need to re-upload it. I can just copy the link. So I think what I'm going to try is, even though the heads face opposite ways, I'm still going to use, it's the same kind of composition. So I'm going to grab the first one, I'm going to do a variation on this one, and now this is how we're going to use our style reference. So there's a couple of ways we can do this. The first one I can do is I can just paste the link of the image. It's long, don't worry about it. Just make sure you put a space after you paste so that it doesn't all run together into your prompt or generate any kind of an error. So I'm going to submit that, and this will be our first method of putting a reference in. The second way we can do it is I can, again, I'm going to go and run it again, but this time where I have the style reference, I'm actually going to change that number, and I'm going to paste the link to the image and submit. In this one, we can see the shortened image link being referenced, and then there's the rest of my prompt, and there's the original style reference. So what it's done is absolutely stunning. We have the two images blended together very well, and I'm really excited to take a look at these. So we're going to go and open that up in a browser and blow that up a bit. So we've got our lightning, we've carried over some of those colors, and they're pretty nice images. I think I like this one here a great deal. We still have sort of that celestial magical effect. We have the oak trees coming from her head. We get to see some of her hair. We've got the lightning coming into the image, so it's quite nice. So in our second one, we did the image as a style reference. So we can see right away that there's a big difference between the two. The one, I was using the colorful one and then just adding the image as a reference. This one, I removed the pink style reference, and while it still will carry maybe a little bit of the coloring, it's using the style of the image I provided as the reference. So these ones haven't got quite the right composition, so I might need to run it a little bit more, or I might want to switch it into a different aspect ratio. I'm going to try changing this one to an aspect ratio of 4:5 and try to bring everything in a little bit tighter. Let's see what we get. And so here they are. I've run it again, changed the aspect ratio, and let's take a look at those. And while we're here, I'm going to point out, you'll note that this one here, the image didn't come out at the same dimensions as the others. That's an easy fix. When we have these black bars, that's a good use of the vary region, where we can go in and by using vary region, we can select those black sections and tell Midjourney to correct it and fill in those empty spaces. So let's take a look at these. So I think it really worked much better in this aspect ratio. It does pull everything back together. So I really prefer this much more with the oak tree and less chaos off to the sides. And I've got my lightning. That's a pretty stunning image right there. So if none of these styles are exactly what you're looking for, you can run additional variations, get different style references, or like I said, you can actually take an image that you like from online. Perhaps you have a photo that you want to use as a style reference. Anything at all that you think you would like to incorporate into the look and feel of your artwork, you can use that through either linking the image directly or using a style reference. Today's affirmation is, I am resilient and capable of overcoming challenges. Thank you for joining me for another day of art therapy. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I hope you had a chance to create some really amazing art. Make sure to join me again tomorrow, and I really look forward to seeing you there.